stop saying the date so much so that we can just the number.
They
5.
should know.
Yeah, they're gonna be following the episode.
Yeah, but
it's funny because
stories. This dude, like this story, I was actually waiting for the podcast to kind of share it with you. Like I didn't want to tell you about it, but like I wanted to kind of tell you and then the audience. It's a little Spooktober. You know?
What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 5 of Spooktober.
Yes, sir.
Hybrid review room, blue room, costume room.
Yes, sir.
Make sure to keep liking, subscribe, keep an eye out for these Spooktober episodes. Also watch the review room.
And also,
Blue Room.
Make sure to check out our Instagram, YouTube, Snapchat. What the fuck am I saying?
Again, Penny Saver and TikTok.
Penny Saver, fucking OnlyFans.
So today we're going to be going over spooky stories on the Scary Stories subreddit. We're going to do a episode now with Joel. Who's the user for this one? It usually says at the top.
The user right here says, it just says Scary Stories and Star Crim.
Dark Crim?
No, Star Crim.
Star Crim.
Yeah.
Ooh, user
I don't know if he was trying to be funny with that or...
I don't know. Sometimes the people's names are kind of just don't make sense. So, but yeah, take it away.
All right, guys.
I'll be scared over here. I need my blanket. Ooh.
Like I said, lay back. If you guys are chilling at home, you guys are just listening to this podcast, or if you guys are
unzip your pants.
In traffic,
right
don't unzip with mine, please. I don't got that kind of voice.
Whip it out, slap it.
I don't want to, interrupt you and anything. Yeah, you guys are probably, I don't want to ruin anything. But here we go. So it's called The Unheard Screams of the Night.
Ooh.
I just moved the predators on.
Again.
That sounded like more of a cat. Okay. The story in of itself might not be very scary for some, but what made it is unsettling for me is the context around it. So I will start with that. All right, bruh.
All right,
bruh. I see you. It was a few years back. I was 21 at the time. The story happened in France. Oh, my boy lived somewhere nice.
European dude.
I'm jealous. I lived in a gendarmerie with my mother and father during my master's degree study and no one else. We didn't have any other pets. A gendarmerie is a sort of police station but for military police and generally serve the same purpose but for smaller towns and cities. Since my father used to work there, we had a service flat given to my father so we can live with him at work. I've lived there for 11 years at the point. It's nice, quite little city, and there is some wildlife on the edges of the city, but nothing too crazy. Maybe some wild bears, a few snakes, and foxes, but that's about it.
Chupacabra,
fucking aliens, fucking La Llorona, fucking midgets. Okay.
Yeah.
However, in the center of the city where I lived, there would never be anything like that. The apartment I lived in was at the 6th floor. The door that led to it was very bulky, and if you let it go of the door, it would lock you out automatically. All the windows in the house had double glazing for noise isolation since we lived right next to the highway. So if you close the windows, you wouldn't hear anything except for muffled trucks, horns at the times. Ooh. Then you hear fucking exhaust and shit.
Yeah, you don't hear her getting loud sirens like right now.
Fast and Furious. Now, for the story itself, I cannot remember the exact month since I shrugged off the story later on. All I can tell is that it was not summertime as we'd let the windows open at night in the summer to cool down the apartment. We did not have AC at the time. I like how he made it,
Yeah. Like,
shit. Shit, my boy was struggling.
Yeah, we're not doing too hot right now.
Not even a fan? Come on, bro. I would wake up very late at night or early in the morning depending on how you look at it. At around 2 a.m. by a loud banging on my bedroom door. I always kept it locked at night because I like my privacy and my mother has an unhealthy habit of snooping around like any other mother.
Oh, damn, dude, that's annoying.
We all have those type of moms. I obviously got startled and woke up on the nerves because while it happened that my father or mother would wake me up at night for an urgent matters, they would usually lock as well as call out my name and not bang. However, this definitely sounded more like banging and there was no voice calling out to me. I would make it for an uninteresting horror protagonist since I figured that. Whatever is out there, I'm safer in my locked room than going out there. That is true.
Yeah.
I'd rather stay in my shit. Y'all do what you gotta do out there, bro.
Keep that noise out there.
I was scared that whatever was out would hurt my parents and thought to myself that if I heard my parents being distressed, I'd take up my courage and help them. Respect. Yeah. The banging stopped eventually, as I listened carefully and there was nothing. I could even hear my mother snoring in her bedroom, so I figured that it was safe to check after 5 to 10 minutes. I take a TV remote and my cell phone with me just to make myself feel more armed. Damn, how
remote,
fucking sharp is
you gotta
that
throw
shit?
the remote,
Right?
dude.
I'll grab the chancla. Everyone's scared of the chancla. And with the flashlight of my phone, I investigate every room. Smart. A lot of people, they just go with whatever they got, right?
He's sweeping and clearing, dude.
Yeah, exactly. There seems to be no sign of intrusion, stolen goods, or broken stuff anywhere, and since both my parents were still asleep, I figured that it might have been a strong gust of wind hitting my door, or at least that's what I rolled with because I needed to reassure myself. It still felt odd that none of my parents woke up from how loud it was. Although our windows were closed at the time, so it's more denial than it is an explanation. So I kind of I see where he's going with this. It's like he's doing the detail, but
he's like
getting to a part.
checking his
Checking
corners,
his room,
dude.
checking under his bed, like any other random person.
Yeah,
would, right?
no, I'm not just gonna go look up there. Like, all right,
Yeah,
that's good.
exactly. I went back to bed, locking my door once more and snoozing once my nerves to calm down. I woke up not an hour later to sounds of screaming. It sounded like a woman was being murdered.
No shit.
I was terrified, shivering in my bed, covers held tight against me. Fuck, I would do the same.
Yeah.
It was loud yet so distant. You could hear it echo, so it was outside for sure, but it meant that whatever was screaming was louder than a truck horn.
That's true, right? The freaking window panes and everything is really good with the insulation.
And the fact that it was louder than any truck horn or any car that was nearby.
Was loud as fuck.
I stayed up for probably half an hour, my heart beating in chest as I slowly relaxed to the return of the silence. At that point, I was so exhausted I ended up passing out. I woke up the next morning at 10, which is not unusual for me, and the first thing I did was ask my parents. At first, I asked them if they hear any cat fighting last night, thinking that maybe I got the spooks from something that Mundane they told me they did not, and asked me why. I explained to them the whole thing and precise that it was almost like a woman screaming for help, and I was shocked that none of them heard that it was how possibly loud it was. They kept dismissing it, and it was as if it was weird of me to keep asking to make sure they didn't hear anything that was remotely close to what I could have heard. Nothing. We went on about our days. I was still puzzled, but I tried to think maybe it was just an animal or something. But I'm sure that no critters you could encounter at night in our little urban city could have made that noise. And the fact that nobody other than me seemed to have heard it, it was making me uneasy because I am sure that I did not dream all of that.
Ooh.
The only explanations I could rationalize with would be the wind of my door, even if I don't understand how wind could have entered my apartment that night, as the intrusion scenario is near the impossible in my mind. And for the screaming, maybe it was a lynx. We have those in France, even if they were rare, and even rarer where I used to live, sorry. Although, those two rational explanations just don't fit entirely in my heart, and I suppose I'll never know what happened that night.
Oh shit, dude.
Damn, so it's like more of a cliffhanger, because I mean, think about it, like, there's no explanation for your family, right? They're gonna think, oh, my boy's just having nightmares, or he had a bad dream, or he's just tripping out, right? But you heard it, and you heard what it was.
Yeah.
But yeah, imagine
crazy.
having those, shivering and, being scared.
What the fuck?
I would have been like, fuck that, I'm not gonna go check that out. Like, I'll check my surroundings, but I'm not gonna be like, what's outside?
Yeah, what's outside, dude? That's
maybe
crazy.
like at 3, 4 in the morning. Bro, I'm staying in my room, and then I'll go check later on in the day.
Can sit with my gun right at the door, like.
Yep. Shit, I got my knife
pop through.
in my little walk-in closet. I'll just take that shit out. Like, anyone come near me, I feel my come on, just like.
Just start chopping.
Yeah, start chopping shit up, bro. I don't give a fuck if they're dead. I don't give a fuck.
That's crazy, dude. Like and I've had that happen sometimes at the old spot where I used to live. People just screaming in the middle of the night.
But you see that, which is crazy. Is like you think they're like crackheads, right? And which just sounds like fucked up. No, but
I guess
it's
we
true.
do live in LA
we live
too,
in
right?
LA.
So-
You get them crackheads or like crazy people that are just out there, you're drunk and screaming and shit. But then again, it could have been someone either getting
Something
killed
else,
or
yeah,
just
someone
someone
getting killed.
haunted in the area or some shit. But
yeah.
I wouldn't scare shitless. If I
Yeah,
was in his
I
position.
actually had a friend that he told me that he doesn't live in such a nice area. And he told me that when he was younger, when he was little under 10, that he had heard like in the middle of the night someone saying like, oh, I'm shot, like I'm gonna fucking die, I'm shot.
Yeah.
And then like the dude just ended up dying in the alley.
Oh hell
like
no.
and they ended up finding him in the morning. And I was like, what the?
Oh hell.
It's
no.
crazy too because like it makes me think like my old place where I used to live. In the middle of the night, you just hear and I was like, what the?
He's like typical day in LA.
But at the same time, I'm comfortable.
Right,
I'm like,
you cozy.
It's not inside.
A good time.
We chilling. I'm just gonna stay here, go
He goes,
back to sleep.
He's like, I don't care.
I'm gonna put my noise canceling headphones on.
Right.
I'm gonna go back to sleep.
Well, oh, okay.
Yeah, all right. Someone else will deal with that. We got cops in
Cops will
this
show
area.
up right now.
If I could hear it, the cops.
They
can
could
hear
for
it.
sure. Yeah, they're somewhere
They'll deal
out
with
there.
that. Do you have people screaming, ooh, spooky?
Oh no, definitely, bro. Especially like when I used to live in Mexico. They used to say that like, if you would hear the screaming at a certain time, it means there was this lady. It was
La
kind of
Llorona.
like kind of like the Llorona. Yeah, exactly. But this was different. It was like a local lady who lost her kids. Kind of something similar to like the Llorona, but it was like she would catch you outside. It was like a slasher thing. She would kill you. So like if you would hear the screaming, just make sure you don't go outside.
You don't interact with
typical
her.
Mexican families.
Yeah.
We lived in Mexico and they would say some kind of shit like
Everybody's
that.
superstitious in Mexico, dude.
But I did hear when we went on vacation, and I remember we were living in like a little small town because I remember we needed to take a break. I was like, okay, we're tired of driving. Let's go to one of these motels. And you would hear shit at night, and I was like, oh hell no. And then like later on, we told the guy what we were hearing. He's like, oh yeah, like we get that a lot. Like it's like urban legend. Like if you hear like the horses, like late at 3 a.m. Like it's like something like a demon riding a horse, whatever.
Oh shit!
So never look at it eyes or it's gonna haunt you. Shit like that. So I was just like, I remember hearing something like that. I don't know if it was like a dream or not, but I never denied it that I heard it. So I was like,
you know what I just remembered? I'm getting fucking goosebumps. I'm getting goosebumps for something.
Oh, I can see it. Yeah.
So I remember it was one of my friends also. He told me that he would hear him and his parents did a road trip. I think to Florida. I think they went to Disney World.
Yeah.
That's where Disney World is, right? In Florida. So they did a road trip and they rented an RV and they were making their way over there, but something happened with the RV that they rented. And so they ended up just getting the regular car. They like the company or whatever reimbursed them for the RV and then they just gave them a regular rental car. And so like, all right, well now we got to sleep in hotels along the way. We can't just sleep in the RV. And so who is that little spider floating here?
Where?
We're in the jungles of LA. Ooh.
Spider-Man?
Yeah. And so they had to sleep in hotels along the way. And this was like a 2-week thing. They took their time. And he told me that at one of the hotels, ooh, I'm starting to get the goosebumps again. That in one of the hotels, he was young. I think he said he was like 10 or something, 11. And in one of the hotels when they went, that he would hear like a knocking noise. And he said that it was one of those hotels or motels where it's like in the middle of nowhere, like a creepy, like 10 rooms with some weird dude at the check-in desk. And that they went to it, but it was like the only hotel available and that they were falling asleep and they're like, we got to stop here. And he said that it was like a 2-bedroom like room. The only room that was available was a 2-bedroom room. And he didn't want to sleep by himself. He wanted to sleep with the parents, but the parents was like, no, there's 2 beds. You sleep in your bed and we'll sleep in the other one.
Yeah.
And so he went to sleep in the room and he said that he kept hearing a knocking noise at night. And he was trying to figure out where the knocking noise was coming from because it wasn't consistent. That it was like someone like going like, pa. And then like, pa, 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 pa.
What the fuck?
And then it would go like, pa, pa. You think like usually when you hear a knocking noise, it's pretty consistent if it's something mechanical. And he kept hearing that noise. And he said that he started kind of like following it up against the wall. And that, ooh, I'm starting to get the goosebumps again. When he was following the wall and he was following the wall. And then he got to where there was an outlet. And where the outlet was, the corner was kind of cracked. And he looked through there and he saw an eye.
Oh, hell nah.
Like a fucking goosebump.
What the fuck?
He said that someone was like, he thinks that the person in the other room was looking at them through the.
Whoa, that's creepy, bro.
And he told his parents that he saw an eye, and not like in the movies where the parents don't believe him. They were actually like, all right, let's get the fuck out of here.
Oh hell yeah! I'm glad they did because I would have like,
no, they didn't hear the knocking noise, but they were like, yeah, this is a creepy ass motel, and like let's just go.
Fuck.
And so they went to the front desk and they said that something that the AC wasn't working and they wanted a refund, and so they just got a refund and they kept going.
They did the right thing. I would have been gone too, bro.
Like I would think like that would be like such a good idea for a freaking short film.
Right?
I'm gonna get my friend's idea. Be like, hey, I'm gonna turn your experience into a movie.
Make it into the writing bench.
Yeah.
Put it into.
Because imagine you just fucking looking through it and you just look through it and there's a fucking eye straight through a little crack there. You're like,
I'm like, you good, bro?
yeah. And apparently that's very common.
Really?
That I've seen that for freaking people at like motels out in the middle of nowhere to like.
That's creepy.
That's where
bro.
they'll be like on Instagram. There'll be girls that are like looking through.
Oh.
Like to check to see if there's cameras, or they'll look for like peepholes because freaking weirdos are weird and trying to check out freaking
girls in the shower.
Girls in their.
That's nasty, bro.
Well, not even in the shower. Like this one was just in the bedroom. Like
so imagine like that. Like,
yeah, that's what
watching you sleep,
dude. Make sure no one's watching you guys in your room.
Check your guys' surroundings right now.
Yeah, check the freaking holes.
Check the windows.
The little. Yeah, I'm gonna be looking through your window.
I know. That's
You're gonna
right
see
there.
me playing the
I'm over
Sweet
the
Child of Mine
bed.
solo. Thank you guys for watching day 5 of Spooktober event. Make sure to check out the other episodes. Make sure to check out the review room and the blue room. Make sure to check out that cracking noise over there. We have a alien coming out. We're gonna have
dipping,
the
bro.
what's that barn, that farm one?
The science?
The game? No,
Oh.
the game.
They're Among Us?
They're Among Us.
Fuck that.
He's
I
gonna be
didn't
there,
even finish that game, bro.
Yeah.
Fuck, I ain't playing that shit ever again.
Make sure to check out review room and the regular blue room. Send your costume photos to the blue room Instagram link down below. Go like this on your photo. We're gonna have a gift card for the winner. We're gonna pick amongst ourselves who we thought submitted the most creative or the best costume. Let us know which costumes you like here. Hopefully for the next episode, the next couple episodes, we'll have some more people here and we can rate our costumes. We're all gonna freaking fight at the last episode too.
I lost. I'm the first one out, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.
Take care, guys.